As I said to you a little while back, we are very privileged this morning to have Pastor Barry Oliver with us. It's been interesting that over the years, I know Barry does little trips during the year to the backwater churches, the little churches out in the bush, and we appreciated that. I know when I was on the York Peninsula, Barry came over and presented to our churches there, and it was so good. Barry, I'd like you to come up this morning. Barry has an impressive title. He's the President of the South Pacific Division. Barry, I'm going to ask you, what do you do? How
about that? Is that working? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
that's working.
Yeah, good on you, mate.
Thank you, Glenn. The President of the South Pacific Division. Well, let me just first of all clarify what we mean by this division business. The South Pacific Division is a division of the worldwide Seventh-day Adventist Church. Our church globally is divided into 13 parts, and the part that we belong to is that part in the South Pacific Division. So we comprise Australia and New Zealand, and Papua New Guinea, and all of the islands of the Pacific, the island nations of the Pacific south of the equator. We've even got Antarctica, did you know that?
No, I didn't.
But we haven't got any churches there yet. yet. So it's a large area. And so the work of the President of the Division is first of all to be the senior pastor, to be the spiritual leader of the work, and that's a heavy responsibility, an important responsibility, Glenn. Our church needs its pastors to be spiritual leaders. Isn't that true? Not people who are detached from reality, but people who are able to apply their spiritual experience to everyday life, as Jesus did, and follow his example. The division president, therefore, in that role, needs to visit around, as we're doing today. And so one of the great privileges is to actually visit our people right across the Pacific. We have a fantastic church, fantastic people. And it is one of the joys of my life to be able to meet our people every weekend, basically. There are 5,000 churches. So if I went to a different church every Sabbath, just figure
It's 100 years.
how long that would take. Then the division president is also the chairperson of the governing board of things like Sanitarium Health Food Company, Avondale College, Sydney Adventist Hospital, Pacific Adventist University, Adventist Media Network, chair of the division executive committee, other boards and governing bodies. And so it's very much an oversight role, coordinating role, one where you need to be able to communicate well with people and consult, because our church is very much based on everyone working together in every role, in every place, beginning at the local church, which is the most important, and right through to the other areas of our organisation.
Do you ever get home?
Yes, I do get home. I certainly do.
Barry, family. What have you?
Family. Yeah. I have a wife, Julie. Julie has been a teacher and she's now retired and taught most recently at our school in Macquarie College in Newcastle.
Oh, yes.
We're retired from there 3 years ago now. And then we have 3 grown sons. Our oldest son he works for Sanitarium. He's 37. Wow, that amazes me. Our second son is married in Brisbane with 2 children, and he's a nurse practitioner, if we know what that is. Works in paediatric emergency care in one of the hospitals in Brisbane. And our youngest son, he works in Sydney, and he's done law.
You've got all the advice you need for your old age, I think.
Oh, they'll give me all the advice I need, that's for sure.
Oh, dear. Barry, you've done some interesting things in your life. I know some of the lesser interesting things was teaching my son and myself at Avondale, but can you just give us a little bit of an idea of where you've been in life?
Sure, Glenn. Well, we grew up, we grew up in the same conference together, didn't we?
right.
Way back then.
In the dim distant past.
In the dim distant past. It was a few days ago now.
Yeah.
But went to Avondale, of course, and that was a surprise because I never intended to be a minister. That was certainly the hand of God. And you too. Yeah. The hand of God in an amazing way, and that's a story in itself. But we went to Avondale and graduated from there and went to South Queensland Conference. My wife actually came from there, so she was happy to return back there. We'd met at Avondale. And then we worked in some of the churches there in evangelism and pastoral ministry, and then we were asked to go to Papua New Guinea. And we spent a number of years in Papua New Guinea, and that was an amazing experience. Just changed us in so many ways. And that's an experience. If ever you get a chance to go and volunteer work, work with people of other cultures, etc., it's a great thing to do. Great thing to do, and I'm sure some of you have done that. Then we were called back to Avondale, and I actually worked at Avondale for 13 years, which was a surprise, teaching, and consequently know many of the ministers today, having taught many of them around the division. My main area of teaching was the practical areas of ministry, teaching, preaching, how to give Bible studies, how to run and conduct church, mission, those kinds of practical areas.
Plus your master's training that you taught us as well.
Yes, and then we did leadership and all those sorts of things. Then called to the division, and I've been at the division now for 15 years. And again, that's amazing to me that never intended to be in one place for so long. So that's basically where we've been, Glenn.
Well, thank you, Barry. I appreciate that. You can ask questions later if you need to know more, but appreciate you coming over, Barry, so much just to be with us this weekend.
And it is great to be with you. Thank you for the privilege.
God bless you.